Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson Feral. Welcome back to the channel. This is my third time recording this, so hopefully it will not be another 20-minute video. I'm trying to make this like under 10, so you guys can watch it a little more smoothly. Before I get into that, though, there's two things. Amazing game, second collaboration. I don't know that those phrases go together in the same sentence. Lengthy preparation. I don't know that goes anywhere or near this collab. And also, I hate the artwork. Wow. It's bad. It's so bad. I feel like I'm relapsing into sickness again because I'm looking at this stuff. The Comtois art team does such a good job with this stuff. I mean, just look how intricate just one unit is for just a banner. You know, the Archangel here has the shading into the wing here, and then the glowing white wing on this side. There's a light source, there's amazing tones here. It's just very intricate and nice and very crisp and well done. Just for a banner. And that's all of them. That's all of them. I like Shannon's in the background too, waving. I think that's a Tashar too, back there. So that's fun, but all these different little things here. I just noticed the Bella Dion is roaring there as well. They got the little rainbow mon back here. And there's this stuff, and you just know it's out of place. I mean, it just looks silly. Before I go through the skills, I will show what they look like in... like, if you don't get them during this summoning stuff. So, the Ginger Brave is the Lollipop Warrior. It looks like this. The Pure Vanilla Cookie becomes the Pudding Princess. And the Hollyberry Cookie becomes the Macron. I know that's said differently around the world, but some type of candy guard here. Espresso Cookie turns into the Black Tea Bunny, which I think is probably the nicest out of all these. And then the Madeline Cookie becomes the Cocoa Knight, which is just doesn't belong in this game. What I really like about the artwork in this game is that everything is tall, everything is extended out, everything is very nice and proportional, borderline humanoid for a lot of things. A lot of things just flat out are humans, I think, but even the creatures are relatively humanoid, have nice proportion in that way. But you know, when you make the art team translate this, I mean, they can't do much better than this because it's like 2 feet tall at the most. I don't know if it's even 2 feet tall. They're so short that it kind of bothers me. It bothers me that they're that short, but, yeah, this thing ended up actually being pretty nice. Like a bunny makes sense to be 2 feet tall, but a knight, he looks like a chubby midget or something, so, nothing against chubby midgets, but they don't fit too well into Summoner's War. And then we have this, bear jelly balloon. Well, that will be available during the collaboration period. I suspect that's a shop kind of a thing. The Trial of Ascension that begins in September will have the collab cookies appear as the boss on every 10th floor. So that could be kind of cool. A Cookie Run Kingdom scroll that only summons the Cookie Run Kingdom collab cookies. A Cookie Run Kingdom scroll that only summons the Cookie Run Kingdom collab cookies. Alright. Will be available as a reward for clearing the 50th floor in normal mode, so make sure to climb your way through the top. There's a new arena rival available. The Summoner X. I think this is pretty fun that we have a new arena rival. Hopefully we get a little more in terms of crystals and glory points back for that particular fight. And then also, who put this animation together at Comtois? You're telling me that a level 40 can't take out a level 5. Look at that. A level 40 unit not able to take out a level 5 unit. Wild. With that said, these 4 actually end up looking good. I do not like the way that they look from the front, but, you know, yeah, okay, that's, low-hanging fruit. Some things, you know, just, look better, from a different angle. The, Ginger Brave here is a terrible unit. I mean, it's a new cookie. The bravest cookie. Your attack speed increases your HP condition. As your HP condition is better, the attack power goes up and your HP goes down. So attack speed up when HP is up, attack power up when HP is down. So this could be the fastest unit in the game if they give him like high base speed, but it's not backed up with anything. I almost broke my computer in half when I read this skill then next. It's called Brave Dash. It is literally setting itself up to be a skill that pushes attack bar forward. We don't have a lot of these at the 5-star level. I can't think of any win ones. Don't roast me in the comments section, please. Obviously, Bernard. Bernard, I feel like is what this would be competing with. But, like, think about that. A 5-star unit that has an attack speed boost, or, like, an attack bar boost of, like, 40%. Or 45%, or something like that. Maybe even 50, because the rest of its kit isn't any good. Actually, the rest of its kit is the only good part. I don't know what I'm talking about. The Brave Dash marches bravely to attack the enemy, removing one beneficial effect and increasing the cooldown by 1 turn. Just not a good skill. Attacks the enemy to stun for 1 turn with a 50% chance. I assume these skills are maxed, and it starts out at like a 25% chance or a 30% chance, and then you can skill it up. But if it starts at 50% and you can get it up to like 65, 70, 75%, that'd be way too high for a skill 1. But if it can get above 50% chance to stun, this skill is really strong. But it's on a unit that has 2 other skills that don't make any sense. Because where are you going to use this realistically? You're never going to stun a boss, so it's not going into Chaos Dungeon. You're never going to stun a Rift Beast. You're never going to stun a Labyrinth boss. You're not going to stun, Rift Raid. So where does it go? Right? Sorry. Where does it go? PvP, right? But then you get into PvP, and you attack something, removing 1 beneficial effect. It has Will, and it has Shield. You strip the Will and increase the cooldown by 0 turns because the Will is still on it, and then you come back around and have the chance to stun it, and your cookie just had its head sniped off. So synergistically, this doesn't make any sense. The first skill is the only usable skill on here. The passive doesn't make any sense because, what are you doing? I mean, what are you doing? You have to be going for the first turn to get the first turn and like take will off or something, and then increase the skill the cooldown of the enemy skills. But yeah, it's just bad. Just make it an attack bar booster. Honestly, if they had made it a 40 or 40% AoE boost in attack bar, that's not absurd. Bernard is 35%, I believe, at the second awakening level. So a 40% for a 5-star is not insane. AoE attack bar boosting, and then has a chance to stun. A 50-50 chance to stun is pretty decent. But the rest of it is just bad. 1 second. All right, sorry, I needed to just cough for like 3 minutes there. There's nothing notable about either of these. The only thing I'm going to say about these is that just like the first unit, the free one, the best skill on the unit is the first skill. Recovers HP of the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 10% of your max HP, which is something that the Light Paladin can do, by the way, for free. A free-to-play fusion. Attacks the enemy to provoke for 1 turn with a 50% chance. Okay, and that's the best skill on this, because the other ones are completely ridiculous. The third skill, she becomes Darien for 1 attack bar turn rotation. This one, she becomes Chandra, maybe? Probably not even Chandra. Like, escorts an ally with the lowest HP for 3 turns. That has to be like Chandra, right? I mean, something that counterattacks. She can counterattack and stun stuff. If that's what she does, she is good. I don't think that's what she does. I think that she escorts something, which means that when they get hit, she takes 50% of the damage or all of the damage, but it's only 50% of the damage that would have been dealt to that unit. And then she has the chance to stun just when she uses the skill. If she could counterattack and stun every time, then she's disgusting. But I don't think that's how the skill works. But yeah, the provoke is the only controllable thing about the skill, the whole unit at all. This one grants invincibility and immunity on the target ally for 2 turns and resets the cooldown time. Sounds pretty good. If the skill is used on a dead ally, the ally will be revived with little HP. Okay, not cool. The cooldown time will be increased by 2 turns additionally, but grants the same effect as when used on a living ally. So, when you want to revive something with this skill, the skill cooldown increases by 2 turns. I assume this is already on a 5-turn cooldown. That seems reasonable for something that grants invincibility and immunity and resets all of the cooldown times of that of the ally. 5 turns is completely reasonable. You can turn it into 7 turns if you'd like to revive something, and then a Lauren, just a Lauren, can come in with skill 2, strip the immunity and the invincibility, and put up decreased defense, and push back the attack bar, and put up an HP heal block. A free-to-play 3-star unit can completely negate this skill, because there's no HP. If you're getting 60% HP back, 70% HP back, it's a whole different story. Then it might actually be worth reviving something with this. But it doesn't look like it is. This one recovers HP of all allies by 15% and puts a shield up. But again, the only controllable skill here, just getting the heal every time. And that's something that the Light Paladin does once again. Provoking, once again, is something the Light Paladin does. This just looks like the Light Paladin, but worse, and split apart. This is disgusting, though. I'll get to this one last. The Espresso cookie I'll get to last. This one here also looks extremely bizarre, but like in a good way this time. The top 3 look extremely bizarre in a bad way. This one offsets the incoming damage that may cause you to die, removes all harmful effects, and uses Commander's Honor instantly, so it stops itself from dying, first of all. So it can't be one-shot. Calls upon the Celestial Light. While under the Celestial Light, Glorious Attack will attack all enemies, and you will be immune to inability effects. Literally cannot be stunned, frozen, or slept while that Celestial Light buff is up. The Celestial Light gets dismissed when you take 50% of your max HP as damage in total. So, this is a buff that never ends. I've never seen anything like this. I don't know any other game that this exists in. An infinite buff. You don't need something like the Water Sky Dancer to increase the skill cool time or anything like that. It just lasts forever. As long as you don't take any damage, it can just last forever. So if this thing, you use this skill, because you don't have to proc this, you don't have to almost die to get this skill off. You can just use the skill. You can use a Light Paladin once again to provoke stuff and hold the enemy, attention. And then this thing can come in and attack all enemies every single turn and decrease their attack bar by 30%. This looks gross. This unit looks gross. I mean, really good. But it doesn't look like... And then they make the Espresso cookie, which is just out of this world. It looks completely insane. It is begging for a despair set. Attacks all enemies 3 times and evens out the ratio of HP and attack bar of all enemies except the boss. You wouldn't be using her against a boss anyway. This unit, I don't know what would you be bringing it into other than TOA maybe? TOA is the only thing I can think of where this would be in a boss fight in any circumstance. Attacks all enemies 3 times. That's despair, like despair bait. Like you're frothing at the mouth, you finally have a place to put your despair runes. Attacks all enemies 3 times with a giant whirlwind to reduce their attack bar by 20% each. 3 times it's hitting everything. It can reduce attack bar by 60% in total, and attacks them once more to stun them for 1 turn with a 30% chance. This, it's so good. It's so good. It looks better than Hathor to me. That's how strong this unit looks. It looks like a better version of Hathor. And you can put Despair on it to AoE stun everything constantly. This thing is completely disgusting. I really, really hope I pull this for my LD Scrolls. Really hope, because there's nothing else like this in the game. It's like, this is kind of like a Wuchi. This is kind of like a Wuchi. I would consider this to be like a Wuchi, because Wuchi can take 100% attack bar, AoE, and then the second skill, I think, pushes back enemy attack bar. But this thing can do it every single time, AoE. Has the potential to do it every single turn that it moves, AoE. This thing is like, I think, Hathor on steroids. I mean, it's insane. It's completely broken. Anyway, if anyone knows specifically how this works, like if they think that this is, going to be good, definitely tell me about that. If you think this skill is going to be something that will attack every time that escorted ally is touched, it'll have the chance to stun the attacker. Tell me that. I don't think that's the case personally, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But this thing just looks nasty, and I really hope I get it. But anyway, that's all for this video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see everybody next time.